I'm kind of late.
You think something went wrong?
I can't imagine what.
Well, they really ought to be here by now.
Yeah. Oh, here comes one.
Jimmy Lee!
Good evening.
Where is everybody?
I don't know. Went home from work. I was late. I just came here. I didn't get a chance to go to the church.
Well, I wonder what's keeping them.
Oh, I think we're about to find out. Here they come. Stand back.
What kept you so long?
You'll never believe Brian forgot the ring.
Freudian slip.
No nerves.
I can't. Okay, nice.
Natalie.
Hi there.
Hi. Hey, listen, where's the happy couple?
Oh, they're on their way out. Speaking of happy couples, aren't Robert and Holly coming?
Commissioner, good evening.
John,
I appreciate you coming by.
I wouldn't have missed this for the world. What's it all about?
Well, I'm sorry I had to set this meeting a little late, but our guest just arrived on a plane from Washington.
Guest?
An official of the State Department is joining us. He'll be right in.
State Department? What's this got to do with the waterfront?
Everything, Robert. Suddenly, this project has gotten much bigger than we'd ever imagined. We're talking about a total rejuvenation of the waterfront, beyond our wildest dreams. You won't be able to recognize the place.
What I would call home.
That's close enough, honey, and you can keep carrying me over thresholds for a few days.
This'll do just fine. Come on, let's get some food and some drinks.
Beautiful couple.
Oh, look, there she is.
Hi, how was the wedding?
It was lovely.
Who's Robert? Oh, he's in a meeting. He'll be along later. Would you, excuse me, hello, Holly. Congratulations from me and my husband.
Hand me them pliers there, will you, Bart? Hey, Bart.
What?
You with me or against me?
What do you mean?
I need you to pay attention to what you're doing. Hand me them pliers there, would you?
Oh, I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm just having a little trouble concentrating.
Yeah, I noticed.
I sure wish Natalie would get back.
Hey, how was the trip?
Oh, it was actually very good, thanks, Holly.
Long drive,
I'm tired. Yep,
Well, you saw her?
I did.
And?
She's fine.
Golly, that was a lovely wedding, wasn't it? Especially having it in the chapel.
Yes, I'm glad they asked to use it. Very often the chapel isn't a happy place. This time it certainly was. Audrey?
Well, having the reception here was really a fine gesture, wasn't it?
Yes, I wonder if it'll bring people back to the clinic.
Well, it had better, because if they don't start coming in here soon to this clinic, I'm going out in the waterfront and drag them in.
Just as I suspected. You're on commission here, right?
That's right, and 10% of nothing is nothing.
When Claudia first mentioned having the reception here, we weren't too enthusiastic about the idea.
It didn't seem like the sort of place to celebrate a wedding.
Well, I think the clinic means a great deal to both of them.
True, and it is for a good cause. Though looking at the crowd, there don't seem to be too many waterfront people taking the hint.
No, I'm afraid not. Hey, Parrish. Where were you?
When?
During the ceremony.
I was there.
Oh, I didn't see you.
I was standing in the back. You know, I like to keep a low profile at these type of things.
Are you looking for anyone special?
No, I guess just in general.
Anybody from the waterfront?
I'm expecting too much. I was just hoping that some of the locals would start showing up.
Oh, honey, we all are. And it will happen. It will, sooner or later.
You know something I don't?
Mm-hmm. Don't look now. But someone from the waterfront just came in.
Who?
Well, it's not exactly who you were hoping for.
Leslie, at this point, I think I would settle for anybody.
Maybe. Okay, suit yourself. Take a look.
Thank you. What is Scott Baldwin doing here?
I suspect we'll find out soon.
Well, look who just showed up.
Oh, no, I hope he doesn't start anything.
I wonder what he's doing.
Look at that.
I don't know.
I can't even believe he would show up here.
Who, Amy?
Well, I mean, of all people, the one person who was trying to tear this place down.
Amy, what are you talking about?
Would you look over there?
Want me to toss him out?
What?
Say the word, Baldwin's out of here.
Just relax, Blackie. Thanks.
I wonder what he's doing here.
I don't know, but I do intend to find out. Excuse me.
Hey, Bob. A minute there, I thought I was invisible.
Well, you couldn't have been expecting a warm greeting.
Why is it every time I come around, people think I'm going to cause trouble?
Maybe your past record has something to do with that.
I've changed.
Well, I'm sure people realize that. Whether or not they want to believe it, it's another story.
You believe it?
I'm not sure yet.
Well, you weren't exactly cold as chapel.
Not the other extreme either.
Well, yeah, you weren't hot, but, okay, let's just say you were lukewarm.
Why are you here, Scotty?
Because I got a big announcement to make, and I think it's going to shake a few people up.
Any hints?
It's going to make a lot of people happy. There's that guy right there.
So when I showed up for my tour, a nurse came into Dr. Hardy's office.
Barbara Jean?
Have you heard this before?
No.
Yes, Nurse Spencer herself.
Well, how is she? How does she look? What's she
She's
doing?
fine, and she looks great. She obviously has the Spencer spirit.
Yeah, well, Bobby got the brains. I, however, got the body.
And then during the tour, I met your Aunt Ruby.
Yeah.
She also seems to be doing well.
Where's she living?
Ruby and Bobby are both living in the head nurse's apartment of, what's her name, Mrs. Brewster?
Oh, Brewer. Jessie Brewer.
Yes, that's where they're staying.
Must be crowded.
Well, it's only for the time being. Evidently, they're going to get a place of their own.
Well, what about Robert?
Oh, the commissioner.
Oh, Commissioner. I'm telling you, I'm still having a lot of trouble thinking of him as the Commissioner.
You've been away too long. No, apparently he is the toast of Port Charles. I heard the city even built him his own townhouse.
All right. You know, I knew that that old rat trap Victorian thing was not going to be his style.
So I guess that about covers it.
Okay, now how did you get to talk to her without telling her about me? You didn't tell her about me, did
I
you?
didn't have to. I just happened to stumble on her at a restaurant called the Floating Rib.
You happened to?
Well, let's call it an arranged coincidence. Anyway, once Holly heard that I was from Indian Head, it was all I could do to get a word in edgewise.
What did she say?
She looks wonderful.
Hey,
She's
look.
a beautiful woman.
Listen, you don't have to tell me what I already know. What did she say?
I would say that her memories are what's keeping her going, at least for the time being.
Well, she doesn't have long to wait now.
Well, I'm sure she'll be there when you return.
Did she say if she's working?
No.
Oh. Well, she probably is. Robert probably helped her find something. I'm sure he's taken good care of her.
Commissioner Scotty, Mr. Rakos of the State Department.
Pleasure to meet you, Commissioner. I've heard some good things about you.
In Washington?
You'd be surprised how widespread your reputation is.
Now, please, gentlemen, sit down.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Rakos, the floor is all yours.
Well, I'm sure you must be curious about the federal government's interest in your city's waterfront.
To put it mildly.
I won't keep you in suspense any longer. Our country is vitally interested in promoting better international understanding, especially with the third world nations.
That's what I hear, generally around election time.
It's not just a slogan, it's an ongoing commitment. One of our major concerns is aiding these underdeveloped nations to build their industry, culture, commerce, and the like.
I know it's a good way to make friends and influence enemies.
Exactly. I don't have to tell you how much goodwill is worth on the international market.
Especially these days, this is in such short supply.
Which is partly why with the help of Senator Martin Drake, we've chosen Port Charles to house an international exposition.
Okay. Now, why us?
Because the government wants to emphasize cities the size of Port Charles, along with the New Yorks and the Los Angeleses. We're expecting the exposition to bring a huge influx of foreign visitors here, and we've determined Port Charles is an attraction in itself. It's a port city on a major river. It's near Canada.
Yeah, I know, and it's also rather untapped when we're talking about tourism.
Well, hopefully not for long, which means you'll have to start thinking about security.
This is all rather fascinating, and it'll certainly be quite a feather in the cap of Port Charles. But what does it have to do with the waterfront?
May I?
Be my guest.
Scott Baldwin needs $10 million to pull off his waterfront project, right?
Last I heard.
The government will provide the $10 million for the land not yet financed for development.
What if Scotty doesn't go along with this?
Uncle Sam exercises his right of eminent domain, and the land is ours.
You guys aren't going to mess around, are you?
Not when it counts. Well, as soon as we make a decision and draft an agreement, I'll be in touch with you. We'll have a lot to talk about.
Good.
Scotty, this is a private party.
Well, that's not what the note said.
What?
It was an open invitation to anybody that uses the clinic.
It was to use it, not abuse it, let alone try to destroy it.
Well, not anymore.
I'll believe that when I see it, Scott.
Okay, well,
Rick, I'm not much for making speeches, but, well, I just want to say it. All of us down here on the waterfront, we're going to start using the clinic again. We're going to trust this place. Well, what I mean is, you folks are willing to take a stand and to hold your wedding reception here. That's the least we can do. So we're going to use the clinic again like we used to. Starting now with this party.
Thank you. This calls for a toast.
And vintage grape juice is the toast this season. All the rage.
To the best times possible to two of the best people I know.
Here, here.
And a very special thanks for bringing us all together again.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
It's a pleasure.
Excuse me, it's time for making speeches. I'll be short and sweet, but I've got something to say. I wanted to give the bride and the groom a wedding present. That was a tough one, so this is what I came up with. I hope you like it. It's not a check. It's a piece of paper. Not worth a speech or breaking up the party, huh? Well, I wouldn't have done it if I didn't think that it had an effect of all of you, on all of you down here. See, right now my architects are working overtime to, on the waterfront development, they're going to exclude the land that this building sits on right now. That's right. It's true, it's not a joke. I'm not kidding around. I wouldn't lie in front of all you people. So what I have here is a new lease, irrevocable for 20 years. With your signature, Rick, this building will be standing here until the next century. It's Brian and Claudia's present, but I don't think they'll mind if you open it up first.
No.
There you go, Rick. Put your signature on it.
I don't know exactly what to say, Scotty, except...
Don't thank me. Thank the newlyweds.
Thank you.
All right.
Rubbish.
Sorry I'm late, love. I kind of got held up. Did I miss anything?
I'll say. Dance with me and I'll tell you all about it.
It's the best offer I've had in weeks.
Well, where's she living?
I don't know.
You
You don't know?
Well, I didn't
Natalie?
get a chance to talk to her that much, you know?
Oh. Well, how's she spending her time, you know? I mean, she must
don't
be working.
know.
Well, I wonder what she's doing with her days.
All I could find out was that Holly seems to be spending a lot of time with her friend Celia.
Celia? Who's that?
I have no idea. I thought you'd know.
Oh, she must be new in town. Of course.
What? You do know her?
Well, no, I don't, but I'll lay odds Robert's found himself a new girlfriend.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, isn't it? How was your meeting?
Oh, equally unbelievable.
What do you mean?
I'll tell you about it later. I want to hear it. Right.
Scotty, that was someone else.
I thought I'd get a rise out of you,
You
Rose.
did. That's a rise. You practically gave an entire room palpitations.
Well, look at it this way, then you'll have some more patience.
Scotty, I'm curious. Actually, I'm still a little shocked. I keep wondering, how are you going to make your project work without this particular space?
Well, I've got my architects designing structures to accommodate the cars that I'm going to be losing on this space.
Okay. Sounds like a lot of extra work and a lot of extra money.
Well, that's okay, Brian. Now that Hand is out of the picture, I can do whatever I want. Actually, he's the one that wanted to get rid of the clinic.
That figures. I'd dearly like to get my hands on it.
Yeah, well, don't worry about it. He can't hurt you anymore. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Actually, the whole city government wants to keep an eye on this project.
They're not the only ones.
What do you mean?
Pretty soon, Baldwin's going to find out the entire federal government are going to be keeping an eye on his project.
I don't know how to thank you enough, Scotty, from all of us.
Well, Claudia, you could dance with me. It's okay with Brian.
Granted. Happily.
Thank you.
Welcome back, pal.
It's good to be back.
Here we go.
All right.
I would.
Thanks, everybody. Everything. Thank you so much.
All right. I think we'll be seeing all you folks maybe next year.
Oh, yeah. Let's go,
Yeah, have a great time.
Take care of this place while I'm going.
Don't you worry about this place. You have a great time.
There's still plenty of food, everybody.
Yes, eat it. Come on, if you don't, it's just going to go to waste.
Come on. Aren't you going to have any fun?
I am.
Rose, you do this at work. Let's you and me go out and have ourselves a drink, huh?
I'd like to, Jimmy Lee, really would, but I can't. There's just so much work to do.
You have done enough already.
And he is right. So why don't you go on and dress up? There's plenty of people here to help clean up. You wouldn't mind? I insist. Now you run along.
Come on, let's go.
Let's go. Thank you. Bye.
All right, come on. We need music here. Better. It's more like it's a party on the road here. A little skidding around. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Webber. I would love to dance.
Be our guest, please.
Never thought you would ask me.
I didn't.
Do you mind, Leslie? Absolutely not. You go right ahead. It'll be good for you.
Yeah, and make a fool of myself. Look, I don't know the new dances. I really don't.
I'll teach you.
I'm a very slow learner.
Oh, go on. You know you always love it once you get started.
It's your feet.
All right.
Had enough of this then?
Yeah, I'm not in the mood for this.
You want to hold on?
Yeah, let's go home.
Why don't we do that?
What else?
That's all.
Well, she didn't say anything about her plans?
Only that she wanted to go back up the mountain again.
Oh, boy, you told her she couldn't do
Well,
that.
I discouraged her as best I could. I suggested she at least wait until all the snow is melted.
Yeah, and until I can walk.
That I didn't tell her.
Well, she's not going to be coming up here for a while, I guess, huh?
Well, I'd be very surprised if she did.
So is she.
Now, let's go about getting you out of those braces so I can rub some of that magic Yucatan potion on your legs again.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, I just think you better have a bottle stashed away if that's what you plan to do.
You used up all the oil I left you?
Every last drop, Natalie.
What? That must have been enough to last you a week.
Well, it wasn't.
What were you doing, rubbing it in night and day?
Look, Doc, I admit it, okay? I gotta have it. I'm hooked on it. I gotta have it.
You are mad.
Well, you met Ollie. If you were me, wouldn't you want to get well as soon as possible?
Yes, I would.
Well, it can't happen too fast for me.
In that case, I'm off to the car to get you more lotion. I'm sure I brought some with me.
Listen, I'll take all you got. These are thirsty legs.
I know.
Oh, hang on, English. Won't be long now.
So your little trip was successful after all, huh?
No, Jed.
Why, what happened?
It's Holly. She's married.
What?
Yes, and her husband is Luke's best friend, Robert Scorpio.
Oh, dear God.
General Hospital will continue in a moment.